Jane is on the line from Manhattan Beach, California. Hi, Jane.
Hi, thank you very much for taking my call.
You're very welcome. Thanks for calling.
You bet. Yes. I have a tech that said for my PC that I should use weekly maintenance of desk cleanup, cleaner, and defragler, and then do Windows updates.
Get a new tech.
Aha. Oh, I'm glad you gave me some info there.
Yeah, get a new tech. That guy is living in the 80s.
Oh.
So first of all,
yes,
you don't need to defrag anymore. Modern operating systems, I presume you're not using Windows 95 or 98.
Oh, correct.
Modern operating systems don't require defragmentation. They handle that, as they should have in the early days, but they were so primitive that they didn't. So don't worry about that. In fact, you can overdo these things that without any benefit at all. You're exercising the disk. You're working it pretty hard without any benefit at all. It makes OCD people feel good. Oh, everything's in the nice position. The other thing is, in many computers now we have solid-state drives, in which the word defragmentation is meaningless. Mm-hmm. So don't defrag. What's the cleanup program he recommended? Generally speaking, I don't recommend these either.
It's disk cleanup and C cleaner.
Did he sell you this?
No,
okay.
It was a free installation he did.
Please get rid of that stuff.
Okay.
It's not bad. CCleaner is a registry editor, registry cleaner. The theory being Microsoft made a horrific decision many moons ago when they decided to store settings for programs in a giant ball of a file called the registry. It's horrible. It's vulnerable. It's can grow too big. It's all sorts of problems. But nothing can clean it without a great risk of making your computer unbootable. So because no software, it's risky. So any program like CCleaner is going to be very judicious about what it does. In other words, it's not going to do much at all. Admittedly, there are good things to do, but the risk of making an unbootable system is so high, they just, they err as they should on the side of caution, meaning it's useless. So don't do that. Well, I don't know anything about the disk cleanup. It probably deletes temp files. Windows does all of this, by the way, perfectly well. The Windows Update, similar. You don't need to go to Windows Update. Windows updates itself automatically.
And that's something you just mentioned about Windows 10 being...
well, there is another story. What Windows are you using?
7.
Yeah, well, you may someday. So the way Windows by default is set up is to install critical updates. That's really important. Those are security updates. Yeah. And you never should turn that off. You should let that do that. There will guarantee be at least an update every second Tuesday of the month, and if there's something really horrific, there'll be another one, on demand. But when Microsoft tries to keep it to once a month, not once a week, once a month, the recommended updates are going to become problematic because Microsoft has announced we're going to start making Windows 10 a recommended update for Windows 7 and 8 users. Now, it's free. But you're going to wake up one day and suddenly you're not using Windows 7, you're using Windows 10. I don't think that's a bad thing.
For me, it's bad.
Okay.
It's compatible with the software that I run.
Well, then it would be bad. So here's what you're going to have to do, and this is what the moron tech should have told you, is go into the Windows Update settings and keep critical updates automatic, but do turn off automatic updates of recommended. In other words, change the level of updates. Do not do automatic recommended because you don't want it to be suddenly Windows 10 someday.
Right.
You should, periodically look at the recommended updates because sometimes, most of the time, they're things like driver updates that you do want. So this means that manually you're going to have to it doesn't have to be often, but every month, few months or so, just check and just see if there's any recommended updates that you'd like. They are not bug fixes or security updates. They are, updated software, generally. So your tech is wrong.
And I'm so glad you set me right.
Your tech, as is many people, is just working off kind of a script. That he's probably been doing for 20 years.
Uh-huh.
The older guy?
Over 60.
He's my age. So we've been around. And we remember the days when you did that. You had to make sure you deleted temp files because Windows didn't do it. Windows was so, feeble. that it didn't do this stuff. But now any modern operating system, OS 10, Windows, even Linux, defrags automatically. It's not an issue. Okay?
Thanks so much.
You're very welcome. And this is a big one, this recommended update. And I'm surprised Microsoft's not getting more heat for this. I think because it hasn't started, so people don't know. Get ready, because when it starts and you wake up and you've been using Windows 7 and all of a sudden you're using Windows 10 and Windows Media Center, if you use that's gone. Software that doesn't work with Windows 10 stops working. This is not good. This is not good. And I'm kind of shocked that Microsoft's even contemplating this. This is how driven they are to getting everybody onto the Windows 10 platform. And it's in their interest because then developers will write for Windows 10. You know, everything moves along. And once they get you on Windows 10, it's going to be, you know, it is better. And if you don't have a reason not to go to Windows 10, I would go to Windows 10. I would accept what Microsoft's about to do. The problem is that there are people legitimately who have reasons not to. And for them, this is not going to be a desirable outcome. And we're going to hear about it. I'm going to hear about it. I'm going to hear about it next week.